Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about whether the bourbon boom on Whiskey Row should keep going, or have we reached a point of saturation? My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Bo Cumberland, Wes Harden, and Phil Collin.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey,
Howdy.
hello.
Hey-oh, so yes, we're going to be talking today about Whiskey Row. Seems like they just keep opening up new things, and we're going to talk about, are they at that point, or are they not? Should they just keep rolling? So we'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Beka said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Beka?
Yeah, I had one thing, now I'm changing it to another. We sort of talked about it on one of the other shows. I wanted to know and I think I know the answer to this question from you guys. Sure. I wanted to know, though, is anyone gamblers here? And if you are, what type? Or if you're like, I'll put some money in a slot. I'll maybe play some table games. I'll go to the track, maybe some sports betting. I want to know if anybody does that, or if you just think that gambling is a big waste of time.
Finally, it's my time to shine.
Okay, here we go.
I can't wait to hear. Oh, I know where Phil's going with this.
Where am I going with this?
The horse track.
Love the horsies. Love the ponies.
Okay.
Gambles on TV shows.
All right.
Is
that it, Phil?
No, we'll talk
Insightful.
collectively. We'll jump around. So
Phil, do you gamble, Phil?
I gamble modestly in all varieties, except for the apps on the phone for the sports. I think that's bad mojo. But I like the track. I like the casino. I like the.
Are you doing slots? Are you doing table games? What are you doing?
A little bit of everything. I love some video poker. I love some pie gal poker. A little blackjack, roulette. I love it all, man. But before anyone gets painted as a delinquent, I have one rule, and that's I have the money in my wallet. I put it in there, and I say this is the equivalent as if I were to light it on fire and never see it again. So I only bring it to the casino what I'm comfortable to losing
That's a good policy.
any given time. Yeah.
How do you feel
kids exciting and fun
about the old school? You got to pull the lever, Kronk, or do you you're like, I don't give a shit. I want to push the button and it's spin and it's just a video thing. Or do you like the old school one?
Stop pushing all the buttons. You got to grab the lever. It's a one-off band. He's gonna wink at you when you win big. I love pulling the handle. I miss the sound of the coins go clinky clinky.
She said.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I am 7/8 of the way to becoming a on tilt gambler with a problem. It's only reason and not enough money that keeps me from going over. But which is one of the reasons I have no desire to get any of the million apps they advertise during sports betting, because that's just way too easy.
Yeah.
Way
Take you
too
down a bad path.
Yeah. And my friends and I were talking, and they said, "Have you ever bet on sports outside of a casino using an app?" I said, "Yes, I bet on horse racing." We all decided that's not the same, because the point of horse racing is to wager on it. It's an industry designed around the wagering component, unlike football basketball, at least officially.
Okay.
Those components. So yeah, I love gambling.
That is exactly what a gambler would say.
Right? I would love to get a bus, pick all of you up, take you to a casino. We'll sit down and play Pai Gow poker for 7 hours. We won't win money. We won't lose money. It's a hard game to win a lot of money at. You play slow, you play long. We'll get drinks. We'll drink all their worst bourbon. We'll have a blast. That's what we're doing. Mark it down next Friday. I'm picking each of you up.
Okay, that's good. That'll be a nice big circle too.
Next Friday, we're all gambling.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I can't wait.
I love gambling.
Miss Beka Sue, you're 7 miles from a casino, right?
Yeah, and the most money so I've been here for a little over 4 years. And the most money I've ever spent on gambling at the casino is $25.
There you go. Yeah. You got a problem. Sounds like you got a problem.
Yeah, that's it. $25.
All right. Wes said he likes to gamble. Let's hear some insight on this.
I do. I like horse racing. If I'm in the Gulf somewhere on vacation, nothing to do at night, I'll go to a dog track. That's always fun. There's no skill involved there. It's just pick a dog you like and get on with it type of thing. But sports betting, casino wise, I hate slots. I don't like any of the games of chance playing directly against the house. So I'm a poker guy. Like I want to, if the casino doesn't have a poker room, I really don't want to go. I will go. I'll play Let It Ride. I may play video poker if I have to, if I'm like on a cruise and you've got a small little casino in the cruise or something like that. But my preference is to go play whatever iteration of No Limit, Hold'em, tournaments, cash games, whatever. But sports betting, I love sports betting. I love the apps. When it hit in Kentucky last year, I was like, it makes football season so much better. It makes, like, I even gave a shit about the NBA playoffs this year because of
you were into it.
Yeah. No, seriously, it was a big
deal.
Sure. And it's like, and
you have money on it, you're into it. Yeah.
And they've got so many profit boosts, and they've got so many
that's how they get you.
But you can, it's all about moderation, right? I mean, you can, it's the same thing.
Potentially.
I mean, I've never been all these, you have these like holier than thou people that are like, oh, you're wasting all your hard-earned money on gambling. It's, you're a piece of shit. Well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, if you smoke cigarettes, you're a piece of shit. You're killing yourself. And so it's a personal preference thing, right? Like, I don't care if you want to smoke cigarettes, but for whatever reason, like gamblers specifically, right next to people who drink are like vilified all the time for like your personal preferences, and it's ridiculous to me. As long as
you can pay your rent or pay your bills,
that's right.
As long as you're not like losing your home with like your kids and everything in it, then like
I mean, would someone prefer you to go out and just get addicted to drugs? Sure, let's do that.
Yeah, of course.
That's the quickest way to lose everything you've got. Of course. Way more than gambling.
Life is a gamble, anyways. So we're gambling every single day.
I'm pro gamble.
Pro gamble. Okay. How about you, Bo?
I am not really a gambler, not because I feel like that people that are pieces of shit or anything. I just don't do it.
That's a good thing.
So my two gambling stories, the day I turned 21, my mom took me to a casino, and I had like $20 and I played blackjack. Didn't even know how to play, just was playing along. And within like 10 minutes I was up to like $150. And it scared me a little bit, honestly, because it's like, this isn't how it always works. So, and then second gambling story is probably in 2007, Heather and I took a cruise, and we went into the casino, and I got at the poker table, put all my money down. They said a few things, took all the cards up, took my money, and that was it. And I had no idea why I lost, how I lost.
That's often how it goes. You have no idea what even just happened. You just go, what they go, all right, well, that's it. And you're like, all my money's gone.
They said a few things to the yada, yada, yada of the like gambling stories.
Right.
Right. So that was it.
I would assume people who are like what Wes was talking about would lump me in as a gambler, but I don't really feel like I am. I don't. I never gamble against an institution. I would gamble against friends, because my idea is, hey, if this is a card game right here, sure, Beka might win this time, but next time I'm going to win, or Wes might dominate this time. But I feel like the opportunity to get my money back is still there because it's not going to some Wall Street institution that, some offshore account. So I don't gamble like casino gamble. I gamble, really the only thing I do these days is just poker. But I used to be into fantasy football, which is another form of gambling. But again, it was against friends. So that's how I like to gamble.
You live close to a number of riverboat casinos too.
Sure.
Do you guys have Pig Wheel in any of your bars or anything like that?
No.
Have you guys ever heard of Pig Wheel?
No.
Okay, so if I'm going, there's only two forms of gambling that I'm gonna do. It's either gonna be pull tabs,
okay,
which is a big thing in North Dakota. I think a lot of places do that. Because they're kind of fun. You can just sit around at the table with your friends. You're already sitting and drinking, and then someone's like, "Hey, do you guys want to put $20 in for pull tabs?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, why not?" So everyone puts $20
a piece, right? Like one.
Yeah, it's usually for the ones that we always had. It was like $1 a piece, and someone would go up and they pick. Everyone put $20 in. Then you've got 80 of them sitting on the table, and you're just kind of all sitting there chatting and cracking them open.
Yeah.
And the pull tabs are they're literally, there's two different kinds. There's ones that are cards that have 3 different things on them. Yep. You crack them open. There's another kind that it is 3 pieces of paper that are stapled together. These are not ones that you see as often, I don't think. At least not anymore.
Those are rare.
But they're actually a little bit more fun. But you crack open the staple on them and open them up, and it's the same thing, just not as fancy looking. But those are fun because you just sit around at the bar with your friends and you do that. And
it's a bar activity for sure.
Yeah, someone hits you hit $50, so you put it back in, and you just keep doing that until.
Whenever I do a barrel pick at Dancing Goat, they do that. So they just go. The guy in charge gets a whole shitload of them.
And if all of a sudden you hit $500, then that's when you stop. But generally, you're just hitting a $5 or a $50, and you're just putting it back in, and then all of a sudden you don't. But the one game that is actually a ton of fun is Pig Wheel. And I've only seen it in North Dakota. I'm sure it's other places too. And it's it's similar to roulette, but the wheel is on a wall instead.
Okay.
And on the I guess, on the, not 4 corners because it's a circle, but all opposite each other. There's pigs. There's Sue. There's Blue.
You guys are like another country up there. I swear
this is a pink, and then I don't remember the other pig's name. But there's 4 pigs on there, and so you have a big table, kind of just like roulette, but it's almost bigger and kind of more accommodating to people, especially because there's not a big wheel on the table, and so you can get people around the entire thing. Everyone gets chips, and you're putting different colored chips on there. You put all your own colored chips on whichever spot you want to put them on, and they spin the wheel, and you can pick all blues or all pinks or odds or evens. You can put it on a little corner spot, and you can try to hit you only get a fourth of it if you hit on a corner. And it is actually one of the most fun games when you're at a bar and you're drunk with your friends. You're let's go play some Pig Wheel, because all of a sudden you're just friends with everyone right there.
Pig Wheel.
But Pig Wheel. It is the most fun, and I see why people lose money. If that's how gambling always was, because it's just always exciting, and you can hit big, and people you obviously are losing money, but people are also winning a bunch too, because there's so many people playing around the table. So so many spots are taken up that people do hit big often because there's so many people crowded around the table. And there's, 15 people can play at once, probably. I think that's how many colors there are.
So weird.
And it is an absolute.
It skirts the gambling laws, that's been legalized?
We can gamble wherever we want in North Dakota.
Really?
Of course.
In bars, with bars, you can have table games, but not poker. So you can do Pig Wheel, and you can have blackjack in North Dakota.
Blackjack at the bar.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's huge. Blackjack and Pig Wheel are the 2 games you can have.
I guess they got no outdoor activities. So
we just got slots in bars. In the last couple of years, we just got slots, and then we always had the pull tabs. Right. And then we obviously on the actual casinos, this is just in bars, wherever in North Dakota you can do these things.
Right.
But then the actual reservation casinos is where all the real gambling takes place. But blackjack and Pig Wheel and pull tabs is in every single bar in North Dakota.
I would listen to a podcast about North Dakota from Miss Beka Sue's perspective.
There's actually one called the Midwest Murder Podcast. That's out of Minot. And they do
of course it's a murder podcast.
Of course, they have a murder podcast, but there's a bunch of there's people that do podcasts. There's a bourbon one up in Fargo. They actually did a whole tasting of some of our bourbon ones.
Hey.
Yeah.
In Missouri, and I don't know if this is widely available in other places, you can't. There's no. I mean, there's casinos, but there's no gambling anywhere else. There's no slot machines, off-track betting, any of that kind of stuff. But
that's why there's so many murders.
Sure.
They don't have anything else to do.
The way they've circumvented this, and this may go back to Wes's problem with people judging people that gamble. What they've done is they have basically what look to be just normal slot machines, but they've eliminated the game of chance. So if you look at the machine, it'll tell you what the next spin of the wheel wins. So so it's not a game of chance. If you put that money in, you know that the next spin is a loser. Or the next spin is going to be $100 winner. There's no game of chance. You look down and it'll show you what's going to happen. Now you think, well, no, see that the point is everyone plays the first one is always a loser because the person that's left the machine isn't going to be like, this next one's a winner, I'm going to play it. So it's still kind of a game of chance. The chance is what's the next one going to be in reality, but actually they've circumvented the law of game of chance. So, and then the funny thing is, this is in every gas station and stuff like that. And the people, if you see the people that play these games, they're fucked up, man. I mean, this is all the tweakers. It's all the tweakers. And,
they would have to be.
Yeah. And
then I thought better off sports gambling.
Right. And then I think, well, this is the worst thing possible. It's a bunch of degenerates, quote unquote, gambling, not gambling. And it's just terrible. I'm like, this is just horrible. And then we have a place across the street from us called Dave's Diner, and it's open 24 hours. And he gets certainly the degenerates of the world in there. And then one time it made the newspaper that one of those machines, someone broke into it and stole the money out of there. $4,000 fucking dollars.
Wow.
$4,000. And so Dave comes into our place, and I was like, dude, would you not clean that out a month? He's like, no, that was like 2 days worth of money in there. I'm like, shit, I need to have these things.
Yeah,
we need them in the barrel shop. Forget the whiskey. I'm just going to make a parlor where you can play these fake slot machines.
You'll have you could put those gambling machines in with your whiskey drinking and have all the holy rollers trying to run you out of town.
Exactly.
Just get a pull tabs machine in there.
Yeah.
You have to pay out every once in a while, but I mean, what people pay in is more than what gets paid out.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, there you go. On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Beka. Beka, what do you got there?
You're starting with me.
Oh, that's a surprise. Got to get up.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, not ready. Imagine that. Not ready.
I'm fucking ready. Jesus Christ, Steve. I've got some RC6 here from Maker's Mark.
Oh,
it's probably been opened in the past 2 weeks by you. So
I opened that one up. That was delicious. All right, that was decent. I'll tell you what, I hit pretty hard at Beka's. I didn't realize it was hers. I just grabbed it off the shelf. Bomb burgers, and I'll tell you what. Next time I'm going to do a bottle kill. Next time I'm there, I'm finishing that thing off. I love bomb burgers.
Bomb burgers, good stuff.
Yeah. I love the bomb burgers, and I haven't had any myself for a while, so I'll just drink Beka's over there.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes. Phil, you're next. What do you got, buddy?
Because we're coming off our national holiday and 4th of July, I got a little Eagle Rare so we can stay patriotic for one more day.
Okay.
It's a 10-year bourbon out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfurt. All right.
Okay.
Lump.
Okay. Nothing there. I'll go next. I've got Neely Family Sweet Thumped Rye. This is the bootlegger's pick. Bootleg.
I love that. I love that label, by the way.
Thank you.
It is cool.
It's a badass label.
No. It was nice, but not enough. Beka still has the lead. Wes is next, though.
In honor of our topic of the day, I have an Old Forester barrel proof Cox pick.
Okay.
Cox liquor store, be clear. Nope.
Glad you clarified the liquor store situation. All right, Bo, you're last but not least. Beka's got the lead here.
All right. Since we're talking about Whiskey Row, I'm gonna go with a bottle of Whiskey Row Cask Strength that was given to me the actual day that they were bottling this for the first time. I was interviewing Jade Peterson for something, and so he gave me a bottle of their Cask Strength.
Okay. Yeah. Like that was an accident. Bo shows up that day. Yeah. He watches the calendar when shit's going on, and he happens to just show up and be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about filming some stuff here today. It's going to really promote your business." Yes.
Like, come out any day. I'm like, how about next Thursday?
It's just called Bo's smart.
Oh yeah, exactly. He knows how to play.
Bo knows. Bo knows.
There you go. All right. Beka wins. Cheers to her.
Cheers. Hey.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Whiskey Row, and we're going to decide, should they keep going with this thing, or should they slow it down a little bit? We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
This is Denny Kennard, and my altar drinking Edo is Freddie Miller. I'll drink to that.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Whiskey Row.
Yes, we are. Whiskey Row, one of the coolest spots if you're into bourbon. There's so much going on there. You got bars, restaurants, distilleries, tasting rooms, a bunch of different things that are bourbon related. Then you've got periphery things like candy, chocolates and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on that's bourbon related right there on Whiskey Row. But there continues to be building of things there. And do we think at this point we're good there, or should they keep going? What do you guys think?
Well, I think they should keep going. I'm a big bourbon history guy, so just the fact that it was able to be resurrected after it had been eradicated for quite a few years, just that alone, I don't feel like that the bourbon industry needs another eradication of Whiskey Row. So I would like to see it remain. I think at some point there's oversaturation of certain elements of it. Distilleries, the distilleries that are downtown are just there for the tourist portion. Like they're not pumping out barrel after barrel after
Wes,
barrel.
that's not true. You got Angels Envy and Rabbit Hole, who have their main facilities downtown. They're the 100% of whiskeys coming from those spots.
They're not technically on Whiskey Row.
Oh, fair enough. Touche.
Ooh.
Right. I'm speaking literally.
Boy, he just hit him with a backhand. Did you see that?
Yeah, they're actually not there, Phil. So shut the fuck up.
That changes everything I was going to say.
I thought you were a tour guide for God's sake.
Phil Talks Whiskey just tanked. It just tanked. On the New York Stock Exchange, the stock just
Whiskey Row. Now, if we're literal
Whiskey Row. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Let's talk about the resurrection of whiskey in Jefferson County. No. That's Phil's scope here.
Yikes.
What I would like to see is there's going to be oversaturation of smaller NDP companies popping up with their little bottle shops and fill shops and things like at some point everybody can't be down there. Like, I think there's gonna at some point this momentum's going to start slowing. I think it already has. Phil's probably seen the same thing. We live here in Louisville. Literally the other day, right down the street at an insignificant liquor store, for the first time in, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years, they had Weller Green Label just sitting on the shelf, like 2 rows of it for a reasonable price. Like, it's not the old $19.99, but they had it for like $39. It hasn't been under $100 and on shelves in years. So I think at some point we're going to have some oversaturation of some of that. I mean, but I want to see Whiskey Row stay. It needs to be there. It's a very historic area. It's very important, specifically the Brown-Forman portion of it. But there's a lot of others. Peerless portion's important. They're all important in their own ways, and they do lead and branch off to other areas. Angel's Envy. You go out to Shively on the west end. You've got the old Stitzel-Weller distillery out there. You actually have the hard-working Brown-Forman distillery out there. So it definitely needs to stay. I think at some point, some of the NDP companies are going to start either selling out or filtering out, and that'll clear out some of that redundancy. But as far as the distilleries and some of the bourbon-themed restaurants and things like that, downtown Louisville needs it, and Whiskey Row definitely needs it.
Okay. Bo, what do you think? Do you think we're at the saturation point now, though, or do you think that we should continue to keep pushing more? There's still room for more distilleries, more bourbon experiences, more bars, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think there's always room for more. And what I do like about like the very centric Whiskey Row is the distilleries that are there, they offer very different experiences. And so it would be different if it was the same thing, next door to the one before, but they offer different things. And so I do think there's room for more, more opportunities, as long as that trend kind of keeps up and we offer something a little bit different. And so, yeah, I don't think it's oversaturated at all right now.
Okay. What do you think, Beka?
I mean, I don't know why they should stop. Like, there's not really a reason to stop yet. I mean, it's a cool thing. Like, I just had someone ask me about the other day. They're like, isn't there like a whole thing to go do like in Louisville? I'm like, Whiskey Row? They're like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, yeah, you should go do that. It's, you can go walk around. It's pretty cool. I think that they should probably promote it more, because I don't feel like you actually hear that as much as you should. Right. Like, I know that we hear about it, but like, I don't think that like the general consumers hear about like Whiskey Row as much as they
That's a
really
good point,
should.
Beka.
We're gonna get
they screwed that up, though.
We're gonna get a Neely family satellite shop down there in Whiskey Row.
Well, we've talked about it before.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Now that we can, have a satellite tasting room and stuff. I don't know that we want to take on another like thing right now, but potentially, yeah, we could. But I just like, I really feel like the normal consumer does not know about Whiskey Row at this point.
They don't, because they've screwed it up in the last few years. They've made this really big push, and they actually put it as the start, the Fraser History Museum. They've made this push to filter all of the information and all of the I just turned on the TV this morning and Spectrum News came on, and they were interviewing, I can't think of the guy's name from the History Museum. and he was talking about their curated events.
Stephen Yates.
Yes, thank you. And he was talking about their curated events, and we're the start of the Bourbon Tour. You come down and get a stay, and not one time did he ever promote Whiskey Row.
Which is wild.
Specifically, exactly. So
that's wild. Like, it's wild. Like I'm not trying to say that like I know everything that's going on like in the bourbon world with like tourism, but we are on a gateway like path to all like to the distilleries where we're located at. We see a lot of the visitors who are going down to Louisville and they're going to Bardstown or Frankfurt or wherever the hell they're going. They're driving right past us, and so they're stopping. They go, "Oh yeah, we're going there," and so you're our first stop. Until literally 2 days ago, that was the first person in 4 years that I have heard say the word Whiskey Row.
Really?
Yeah, they don't promote it. They've tried to, and I know why they did it. They tried to run it all this whole downtown Louisville whiskey experience. They tried to run it through the Fraser Museum for whatever reason, and it gets diluted as the Fraser Museum gets all kinds of pub, right? Go down there. That's the first place you don't have to go down there. You can go to every other place but there if you want to. And to me, I'm with Beka. It needs to be on the same level as Bardstown is bourbon capital of the world, right?
Yeah.
Whiskey Row.
In Louisville.
Yeah. You know what it needs to be online with? The playbooks out there, the beeline.
Yes.
The Whiskey Row should have its own beeline style thing where you know what's down there. And what would be great about that is you don't even need it for this group. We know what's down there. We know what distilleries and experiences are down there. But you get so much business travelers that are at Whiskey Row. It'd be nice if it was concise and together and be like, these are the places you can go. You're in town for business, but you've got your evenings free. You're staying downtown. Here's some places we suggest you go, and this is and I think that would be beneficial.
You can literally stay at Hotel Distill,
right?
Like they should take the playbook out of 4th Street Live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have customers come in from Michigan all the time, and they're like, "Hey, they always stay in downtown Louisville. No one stay in New Albany, Indiana." So they stay in Louisville. Like, what's a good restaurant? And I always give them certain places. What's there to do down there? There's a bunch of bourbon stuff down there. And I'm like, you guys should go to Whiskey Row. What's that? I've never heard of it. Yeah. But if you say you guys should go to 4th Street, oh yeah, I've heard of that. That's where all the bars and all of this and the dance club and the country's playing and all. So to me, they need to, like, people don't say, no one, the 4th Street Live business community doesn't say, you know what? Go into this establishment, and that's the start of 4th Street Live experience. No, they say 4th Street Live. We got music, food, dance, bars, bands, whatever it is, right? They don't
want you to leave, right?
They don't want you to leave.
Right. When you come and you're at 4th Street Live area, they want you to be fully contained. We got everything you need right here. Don't ever leave. But Whiskey Row is actually way better than 4th Street Live.
Exactly.
Way better.
Yeah, but the distillers want you to take the tour and for the most part, spend some time in the gift shop. If they have a bar, visit it and then get out. And the problem that 4th Street has, the advantage rather that 4th Street has, is they're open in the evenings. Most of the spots on Whiskey Row close 4:35, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Then it needs to be promoted for a daytime thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you go there during the daytime and you go do all these bourbon experiences during the daytime, and then you go to fucking 4th Street.
But if you're in town for a conference or a convention, by the time you wrap up either of those things, a lot of those distilleries on Whiskey Row are closed.
The distilleries are closed, yes, but there's certainly great
bottle
bourbon
shops
bars.
Are open. Yeah,
bottle shops are open. There's great bourbon bars open.
And if you know you're coming there for a conference, and not every, I mean, this is also dependent on like how your company works. But I've worked for some companies that like, yeah, it's fine if you fly out the next day or whatever, and you already stay an extra day. You could stay an extra day and be like, oh, cool, there's a whole whiskey experience to do down like during the daytime. Like after our like stuff is done, like the next day I can go down and do this whole Whiskey Row experience.
I've been to 50 of those company conference things in different cities throughout the years, and not a single one of them have either lasted the entire day that's scheduled or has it lasted as many days. They do it, they put it on paper so they can show their boss, yeah, we got these people here.
And for tax purposes,
For tax purposes. And what ends up happening, it ends up being 2:30, 3:00. Hey, I think we're a good stopping point for the day. We'll see you at 8 a.m. And it's a 2-day
Go hit
conference.
some places.
Noon the second day, they're like, hey, we want to get you guys out of here. We know everybody's traveling. We'll be done at noon. And then there you go. You got your built-in half days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they've really dropped the ball with Whiskey Row.
And it just feels like if they work more coordinated about talking about what's out there, they may build up to the clientele that's hanging out down there that maybe some of the places do stay open later at that point. Yeah. If you get the activity down there, I think any distillery would be open till 8:00 if there's people walking around and wanting to go to your place.
Well, the argument is at least in the summer hours, they should anyway, because they don't open till 9, most of them, sometimes 10. And you really have a short business day if you're looking at opening at 9 and closing at 4 or 5.
Right.
If it's light out until 9:00 and it's warm outside, why wouldn't you have summer hours and have you open till 8:00 and you catch that group of business travelers that are traveling to Ford and they're out of the plant at 4:30 or 5, check in the hotel, want to go to dinner, and they're like, oh shit, we can book a distillery tour after dinner at 7:00 and get samples. Let's go. Like, I think it would be a big business.
I think so too. You can also catch all the people that are in for sporting events and stuff like that too.
I think they have trouble finding people who want to work that late. I think that's been a problem. Some of the stores I've talked to tried to extend their hours. They have trouble getting either their experienced staff or reliable staff to put in later hours.
Yeah.
But you can work some things in the summer with college intern programs, stuff like that. You could, and then you may get people that are interested in the business. They work there for the summer. It kind of it's a farm league kind of thing, and you can those kids that work whatever hours they can get for the most part.
There you go. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, Whiskey Row. It feels like there's still potential to grow that thing, but I think they need some coordination of talking about what's out there. I think one of the key takeaways here is people don't necessarily know about Whiskey Row. It's not a buzzword. It's not something they talk about. It's not something they focus on. Hey, I need to conquer Whiskey Row. Well, no.
It's literally not something that we hear ever.
Yeah.
And we're like the beginning of it. Like that they say people start at our place virtually when they're coming down, and no one other than the one guy the other day. That's the first time I've heard it. So that's bad news.
It is. It is. Yeah, because so many people end up staying because they want downtown Louisville because that's access to so many restaurants and things like that. So capture them, give them stuff to do. So there you go. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Phil, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
On Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days at Derby City Phil, and also on Instagram at Derby City Phil.
Bo.
I'm on all the socials under my journey through the American spirits, and the same ones under Bourbon Sasquatch.
Bo. Good job. Wes.
Instagram.
Read the wrong there. Underscore Wes? What?
Yeah. Just underscore.
Just
Bourbon underscore Wes.
Bourbon underscore West. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
all right, Miss Beka Sue.
Steve, are you drunk? What's happening right now?
I think I'm drunk, yeah.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Please check that out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, stop by and see me, the ABV Barrel Shop. If you're in St. Louis, it would be a crime against humanity if you didn't stop by and see me. I can be found at abvbarrelshop.com. Get all the details about the store, what's going on in there, what we have in stock, and what classes. abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Farness, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See everyone.
Bye.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri, or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.